Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Los Angeles Clippers MyNBA series here on NBA 2K24, where today the Clippers are on the road to face the 4-16 Utah Jazz. Hope you guys are ready for this one. If you are, make sure you drop that like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more Clippers basketball content. As we get ready for tip-off, let's take a look at the starting lineups. For the Jazz, it'll be Colin Sexton, Jordan Clarkson, Lauri Markkanen, John Collins, and Walker Kessler. Normal starters for us, but there's a key matchup. We're going to take a look at Leonard versus Markkanen. They have very similar statistics in terms of points and rebounds per games, and Markkanen is arguably the best player for the Jazz. Leonard's our best player, so it'll be an interesting matchup to watch. As we are underway, tip-off has occurred. Clippers are in the whites tonight. The Jazz are in their throwback purples, and part of the reason I picked the purples is because, well, the Jazz uniforms kind of suck, That's a little off topic. But back to the game, though. The Jazz and the Clippers. Clippers get the first 2 points of the game. It was Ivica Zubac who's able to hit the first bucket. Jazz have not played very good this season. 4-16. But they're looking to turn around their fortunes here. Here's Kessler inside. He misses. Gets his own rebound, though. As Jordan Clarkson's another player to look out for. 18 points in the win the other night. As now here's Colin Sexton open for three right side. And he misses. So Colin Sexton with a good look. Usually pretty accurate from the three-point line. Does miss that one. As now the other way, Westbrook gets inside, and he will finish the NBA MVP formerly with a 2-point layup. And the Clippers quickly jump out to a 4-0 lead through the first minute. Jordan Clarkson now with the basketball. Going to take a shot right side, and he makes it. Nice shot there by Clarkson. George was in coverage, but able to elevate and get over the defender for the first three-pointer of the ballgame. On the other end, Westbrook gets a screen right side, and he's going to dribble it back out to the three-point line, give it over to George in the corner. As now 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Leonard with it, gets a screen left side, going to pull up from the mid-range, and he misses. But Zubac gets a rebound, he gets fouled, and he will go to the line, can't connect. Nice hustle play there by Zubac. He'll be rewarded with 2 free throw attempts as Lauri Markkanen gets called for the first foul of the game. Clippers last time we saw was a nail-biting loss to the Nuggets, where they lost by 3. They did go 2-2 last week with wins over the Kings and the Warriors, and they did drop another one to Golden State. So been playing pretty decent basketball as of late, a lot better than the start that we had. And speaking of starts, it's the Clippers with a 2-point lead here after 2 minutes of play. George fires over to Westbrook, had Zubac inside. Don't miss that one, but nonetheless, George back with the basketball. He's going to ISO his defender here. Try to drive by him. Gets stonewall, has to give it up to Batum. 3 seconds left on the shot clock, and Batum's going to have to throw up a shot, and he's going to miss. Zubac, though, gets the rebound. He goes up with it again, but gets swatted. Walker Kessler sent that one out of bounds, and they're going to say it actually tipped off of Zubac. I don't see it here on the replays. I thought this was just a clean block, but it's Utah Jazz basketball. Interesting call, as the Clippers don't like it. Tyronn Lue is pretty livid on the sidelines. But nonetheless, the Utah Jazz will take over. Jazz, I do love those purple unis. Their normal unis are just not very good, and I do like the classics. And I think it's a good look here at home, so that's why they're wearing them. As Jordan Clarkson from 3 is going to miss on his second 3-point attempt. Westbrook is able to corral the rebound, trying to go the other way now. Here's Paul George back over to Westbrook. Russell gets a screen left side. He's got an open look for 3. He's going to pull, he's going to miss. Russell Westbrook has not shot very well from three-point range this year. He's under 30% from beyond the arc. And he missed another one there. It's now Colin Sexton on the other end with the Jazz. Came over in that big blockbuster Donovan Mitchell trade to the Cleveland Cavaliers a couple of seasons ago. As here's Lauri Markkanen trying to drive on Leonard. He lost the ball for a second. We highlighted that as our key matchup. Gives over to Collins, who misses at the buzzer. So, nice defense there by L.A. George now quickly on the other side finds a cutting Leonard, and Kawhi gets inside, finishes for 2. The Claw able to get the bucket as Clippers 3 for 7 in the early going. Jazz only 1 field goal made at this point, shooting 17%. Very good defense there by the Clippers. That's just not a good shot there by Clarkson. It was decent defense, but again, the Jazz miss another shot. They're now 1 for 7 from the field. On the other end, George now over to Leonard. Isolated here on Markkanen. Trying to take on our best versus their best. He gets a little bit of help, though, and nice help defense by the Jazz as Colin Sexton came over to provide some support. Despite a slow shooting start, it's only a 4-point game, as actually Jordan Clarkson is going to be called for a charge. Zubac was set and got run over. So 7-3, turnover again. Now Clippers basketball again. So despite the slow start, still a pretty evenly contested ball game. As George comes off ball screen, trying to drive inside, gives it up to Westbrook. Has another look from 3, and he misses again. Same look from earlier, wide open on the left side of the wing, and he still can't connect. So Westbrook really struggling from beyond the arc. Might need to take that out of his game until he can get some more confidence from deep. Here's Jordan Clarkson now with the basketball over from Sexton, who had 32 points in the win in their last meeting against Portland. As there's a steal, and George is trying to run the other way, and he misses. Goes strong with it, unable to connect. And that's a big miss there by the Clippers, as now the Jazz will push the other way. Still only down by 4. The Clippers offense has really not been that much better here in the early going, but the Jazz with only 3 points. Markkanen tries to drive inside by Leonard. Gives it up to Sexton. 4 seconds left here on the shot clock. As Collin gets by George, pulls up from the mid-range, misses again. Another miss there by the Utah Jazz. And now Kawhi trying to push the pace the other way. Hands it off to Westbrook. Going to get a screen left side. A little bit of space here. Pulls up from the mid-range, and that is the right distance. A nice 2-pointer for Westbrook. The Jazz will call timeout. It's 9-3 after the first 5 minutes of play. Then we'll go to the end of the quarter where the Clippers lead 28-24 after 1 frame of basketball. Jazz offense, though, kind of waking up a little bit as we're now halfway through the second, and it's still only a 3-point game. 39-36 in favor of the Clippers as Jalen Horton-Tucker here with the ball for the Jazz. Over to Markkanen. He's going to pull from right side, and that one's in and out. Hit off the rim. Now we go Kawhi Leonard the other way. He's going to pull back. Tries to find a cutting Westbrook underneath, and he's going to finish at the rim. There's Russell Westbrook. That's the game I want to see from Russell. Those cuts, those quick off-ball movements, slashing, getting to the basket any way he can. He pushed the lead up for the Clippers to 5, 41-36. Now is Markkanen trying to go solo on Leonard. That's not working out. Kawhi, one of the best defenders in the NBA, but Markkanen is able to get some space off ball, and he hits a nice 2-pointer from the mid-range. So he gets those points right back for the Jazz. This is now 41-38, still in favor of LA. So Westbrook now inside, dishes it to Leonard. Leonard double covered, find Westbrook on the back end, and Russell misses the point-blank layup. Ivica is able to get the rebound, though. So a little second-chance opportunity for the Clippers as George drives inside. He'll finish with the right hand. Paul George, our highest point scorer so far this season. He's done a very good job at getting to the basket. Paul George, very strong, very good driving to the rim. And he showed it on display there again. Now 43-38 in favor of the Clippers. As Sexton over to Collins on the pick-and-roll game. He gives it up to Walker Kessler. Had a second trying to fumble it as they find Collins for 3 at the top, and he hits. John Collins from dead away straight center hits a 3-pointer, and the Clippers now only up by 2. As it's really been the 3-point ball for the Jazz tonight that's kept them in this ball game. Over to George left side. Gets to double screen. A little bit of separation. He's going to pull up from the mid-range, and that one it rolls around the rim and misses. So the Jazz now with a chance to tie and potentially take the lead as George is only 3 for 8 shooting tonight. Does have 8 points and 3 assists. John Collins now gets a screen from Markkanen. It's defense by Batum to go around it, but Horton-Tucker off ball wide open for 3, misses. George actually was there in coverage. Nice closeout defense as this one's going the other way. Westbrook at the 3-point line now, pulls it back a little bit. Looking to set up a play. Gives it over to Kawhi, being guarded by Markkanen. I'd say Kawhi has won this battle so far. Kawhi had 15 first-quarter points. Now from the mid-range, makes another one. Nothing but nets for Kawhi, as that's his first points, though, of the second quarter. Kawhi does usually get a pretty big break to begin this quarter of play, so he's recently checked back into the ballgame. 4 minutes to go here in the first half as Colin Sexton trying to drive by Paul George. George a nice defense, but eventually gets him to jump early and misses on the mid-range. So easy look by Colin Sexton as a miss. Now the Clippers quickly pushing the pace the other way. Back to Westbrook now at the top of the key. Finds George. Trying to set a screen left side. Double screen again. George is going to attack the basket, but he can't get it to go. Nice defense. Unable to give him a good look from the layup. And now the Jazz are going to try to push the pace again. Here's Jalen Horton-Tucker. Kawhi Leonard is all over him. Gives it over to Kessler. as Ivica Zubac is covering. Inside for Markkanen, who spins. A nice hit there by Markkanen to get the 2, and the Clippers will call timeouts. And we'll just go to the end of the first half. The Jazz take a 5-point lead going to the half. They lead 53-48. Can they hang on, or will the Clippers come back and win? Well, the Jazz got off to a very slow start in this one, but really ramped it up after that first 8 minutes of play. Now shooting 52% from the field. The Clippers underneath 50. They're going to have to step it up a little bit or step up again on defense if they want to come back here in the second half, as the Jazz will start off with the basketball. Kawhi Leonard was the leading man for the Clippers. He had 17 points. 15 of those actually came in the first quarter, so a very slower second. But he's still matched up against Lauri Markkanen. Here's Jordan Clarkson open for 3, right side. He misses. That one is off the mark. It's the kind of defense the Clippers are going to need to play, as they're actually on a little bit of a scoring drought coming out of the end of the first half, but that's going to help. Hit and one on a cutting Russell Westbrook. I said I'd like to see that a little bit more. Well, it's good to see he cut to the basket again. He gets rewarded with the old-fashioned three-point play, and he does hit his free throw. Westbrook has been a little bit shaky as well from the free throw line, so it's nice to see him get that three-point play. And now the Clippers only trail by 2. As Jordan Clarkson will bring it up the floor, gives it over to Collins, who gets Batum in the air, and he'll actually miss on the left mover. As now Kawhi gets the rebound, moves up to George. He finds Batum inside, and Batum will make it. So a nice transition possession there for Nicholas Batum. Good defense on one end, able to finish off with 2 points in the other. I'd love to see Nicholas Batum step up as the season goes along. I think he's been probably the biggest disappointment for this team. I didn't expect a lot out of him, but he's just not been good defensively or offensively. As there's a nice defensive possession there by Russell Westbrook. The Clippers coming out of the second half ready to play some defense. As Kawhi Leonard, Paul George with the two-hand slam. PG-13 gives the Clippers a lead, now 55-53. So the Jazz need to do something. They have yet to score a point here in the second half. As Jordan Clarkson at the top of the key, number 00, by the way. Gets Sexton open off ball. He's going to take a deep 3, and that one is in and out. So Westbrook was there to contest the shot. And now here come the Clippers. Colin Sexton has not had a very good game at all. It's only 2 points, 1 for 7 shooting. Jazz are going to need him to get going if they want to retake this lead. As Batum at the top will actually just get the ball stripped from him. Lauri Markkanen just swipes at him. Batum just loses it, despite the fact he wasn't even dribbling the basketball. On the other end, Collins with the right hand will finish. So that was not a good transition possession for Nicholas Batum. He got swiped on one end, and then he gave up the easy 2-point layup on the other. So, again, that's the inconsistencies we've seen a little bit out of Batum this season. Westbrook gets the screen. Now he's going to try a 3 from the right side, and again, it's off the mark. Westbrook has not been able to hit from downtown. He's only 50% tonight, 1 for 4 from the three-point line. He does have 12 points, but most of those have come underneath the basket. Jazz now tied it up at 55 last possession. See if they can take the lead with this one. Jordan Clarkson trying to drive on George. Can't get by him. Sexton now has the basketball. 3 seconds to go. Gives up to Clarkson for 3, and he hits a widely contested 3 there for Jordan Clarkson. He's able to get it to go. I mean, Paul George was up in his grill. There ain't much else you can do against that one. So now the Jazz have regained the lead as the Clippers now with the basketball trying to answer as George is going to get inside, and he will float and hit a nice contested 2. Doesn't get the foul call, but a nice finish. That's his 12th point of the ball game. Now shooting 45% tonight, shooting a little bit better than what he was earlier. As Clarkson now fades to his left, he'll miss that one. Nice recovery there by PG-13 on the defensive end. And now here comes Kawhi Leonard trying to drive inside. He finds Batum right side, long 2. No, off the mark. Batum unable to hit from the right side. Lauri Markkanen had the rebound. He brought it up. Now Jordan Clarkson with the basketball. He'll give it up to Kessler. Being guarded by Zubac. Finds inside. No, he actually tried to find Clarkson inside. Nice interception there by Paul George to get a hand on it. And now on the other end, the Clippers will pull this one back over to Kawhi. He'll get a screen from Batum, and Kawhi's just going to pull it from the mid-range. This time he misses. Kawhi Leonard's been very impressive from that mid-range, but he's unable to hit that spot. And the Clippers still trail by 1, now 58-57. Colin Sexton dribbling the basketball. Nice job by George to get through that screen. He has to give it up to Jordan Clarkson. Westbrook in coverage on him. Gives it up to Sexton on the low side. Into some traffic. There's a lot of bodies over there, and that's a tough shot. There was at least 3 Clippers in the vicinity. And as Sexton continues his cold performance. 1 for 8 now shooting. Clippers another chance to take the lead here as they're going isolation here. Leonard against Markkanen. Now here comes Zubac for the screen. He gets it. Into some traffic we go. Only 5 seconds left to go on the shot clock now. George is going to call for a screen of his own. He's going to get a look inside, and he's going to miss from the free throw line. That one rattles around the rim. And we still stay 58-57. Both offenses have yet to put a basket on the board in the past couple of minutes. As Jordan Clarkson now being guarded by Batum. Inside to Sexton again. Step back. Zubac is there, but Sexton gets it over the extended arm of the center. And maybe that's the shot that Sexton needs to get going. That's his 4th point of the night. Maybe starting to feel the hot hand. As now Westbrook with the basketball. Gives it to Leonard on the post. He'll try to back down, mark it in. Step back off the back foot, and he hits. That's a tough shot by Kawhi Leonard, but he's able to hit it. As he's up to 19 points on the night. And again, the Clippers trail by 1. And the Jazz will call timeout here as we get halfway through the quarter. And we'll actually go to the end of the third. The Jazz with a 78-74 lead over the Los Angeles Clippers. And we'll actually start off the final frame of basketball with the Clippers down by 4. As the Jazz have been very automatic here in the second half. As George gets inside, but actually gets swatted from behind by Kessler. And it's going to go out of bounds. Excuse me, that was Kelly Olynyk with the block. On the court for the Clippers, you see Terrence Mann, Paul George, Mason Plumlee, Norman Powell, and Robert Covington. As George leading this unit. As here's Plumlee actually trying to drive inside. He actually has a little bit of a mismatch there. Not going to take advantage. Instead, they call for a screen, and George will load up for Plumlee. And alley-oop, Mason Plumlee with 2 hands slams that one home. Now the Jazz are only up by 2, 78-76. Jazz have been very feisty tonight. Clippers just can't pull away. They just have lacked that killer instinct these past couple of games. As Horton Tucker gets left wide open, a little bit of miscommunication between the Clippers, and that's what you cannot have happen. Both players went with the switch, and, well, it didn't work out. So left Horton Tucker wide open, and the Jazz are able to extend the lead back to 4. On the other end for the Clippers, here's Mann driving right side, hangs in the air. That's a tough layup. He's not going to get it to go. Not a good possession. As here comes Horton Tucker again. Over to Agbaji, the former Kansas Jayhawk. Gives it back up top of the key. Here comes the screen. They go around it. Lauri Markkanen now being guarded by Norman Powell. This is the matchup the Jazz would like, as Lauri is able to get inside, and he finishes just using his strength just to move basically Norman Powell out the way. Now the Jazz have a 6-point lead. Paul George trying to lead the other end. They're just going to swing it around to the right side. Trying to get him open off ball. Norman Powell with it. As he's just going to call for a screen. It looks like the play did not work to correction. And now inside for Plumlee. Nice finish. Good pick and roll basketball there. Good audible there by the Clippers. Their play that they had drawn up for that possession did not work. They were able to connect with the 2-man game. They're trying to keep up with the Jazz pace. The Jazz have been pretty electric here to start the 4th quarter. Down by 4. As inside they go to Markkanen, guarded by Norman Powell again. Just using his size to get inside. He just hits it. The Jazz are virtually unstoppable right now. There's really not much else the Los Angeles Clippers can do. I mean, they're playing some pretty tough defense. The Jazz are just getting it all to go. I don't know how they're doing it, but every shot is connecting. George gets the screen right side, trying to roll to Plumlee again, but nice hands by Sexton. Plumlee dives on the floor, but somehow gets moved to the right, and Agbaji is able to slam it home. That was some cheese if I've seen it. Plumlee dove for the ball and somehow got moved to the side, and, well, it leads to an easy basket for the Jazz, who now have an 8-point lead, as this one is starting to get away from LA a little bit. Paul George now with the basketball, gets a screen from Covington. He pulls up from the mid-range. It is off the mark. Another miss there by the Clippers, who've gone ice cold, and the Jazz, well, they've been white hot. Terrence Mann is able to meet Horton Tucker at the 3-point line. He gives it over to Agbaji, who gives it over to Olynyk. Inside now. Powell, another mismatch on the big man, and that one is a miss, but he's able to get his own rebound and slam it home with one hand. Even when the Clippers force a miss with some good defense, they give up the offensive board. It's now a 10-point lead. This one is spiraling out of control. And you can see a little bit of frustration there on the Clippers. George is just trying to do this whole possession by himself, and it's not going to work. He misses the shot. Other way we go. The Utah Jazz with the basketball. Horton Tucker met by Terrence Mann at the top of the key. Trying to get in position here. 8:30 to go in this ball game. They dish it to Markkanen inside, being guarded by Powell. Good defense there by Norman. Gives it up to Agbaji, who's being guarded by George, and he goes up with it and somehow gets around Paul George. I really don't know what else to say. This is good defensive possessions, but it just seems like something is not going the way of the Clippers. It's very frustrating to watch. Terrence Mann now has the basketball top of the key. Paul George left side, looks to get a screen. It's not going to work, and he loses the basketball right into the hands of Agbaji, and he's trying to push it the other way. Finds a man inside, Horton Tucker, who somehow gets by his man, and, well, he actually gets fouled on the play. A blocking foul. They're underneath the basket, and he's out of control. I don't get it, but the Jazz now lead by 11 as we have 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, as the Jazz have basically made almost every shot. They're shooting well over 60% this quarter, and it's just not looking good for your Clippers. You can just see, it just seems like they're starting to lose a little bit of faith in this game. As here's Markkanen trying to drive on Leonard, gives it up to Sexton. Good defense by the Claw. He gets the screen left side, fires with 2 seconds. It's off the mark. So another good defensive possession there by the Clippers. That time they don't get the basketball to go in. But Terrence Mann will stop at the top. 4.5 to go. A double-digit deficit. Here's Batum. Had a double team there. And give it back to Mann. He's actually going to try to get a screen here with 7 seconds to go. He rolls inside for Zubac, who can't slam home the dunk. He goes down with 2 hands, and it doesn't fall through the net. And on the other end, Clarkson for 3. You got to be kidding me. A 5-point swing. Nothing is going the way of the Los Angeles Clippers. They're now down by 14 to the 4-win Utah Jazz. This is just turning into an embarrassing fourth quarter performance. As Terrence Mann now with the basketball, 4 minutes to go. He's trying to take his man isolation. This is not the play I would have drawn up. As Mann inside gives it up to Zubac. 3 seconds to go. They got to try to get a shot off here. He gets a little bit of space right side. It's a good look, but he's off the mark. Zubac gets the rebound, and the Clippers, well, they haven't made a basket in over 2 minutes. Meanwhile, the Jazz have probably made like 80 baskets in 2 minutes, it seems like. Sexton to Walker Kessler. Being guarded by Zubac inside. A cutting Markkanen, and he gets fouled. When they don't get it to go, they get the foul call as Markkanen gets by Leonard. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Abel hit on the first. That puts the Jazz at the century mark. It is now a 15-point ball game. And we'll mark it in for the second free throw. It is up. It is in. A 16-point lead for the home team, the Utah Jazz. As the Clippers now with underneath 4 minutes to go. This one's all but over. As Mann's going to pull it from the mid-range. He misses, and it just seems like the Clippers are playing some lifeless basketball. The soul just seems like it's just been drained out of their body. And this 3 minutes cannot come fast enough. Clarkson being guarded by George. Gives it up to Kessler. Kessler right side wide open for 3. Markkanen, and he misses. I'm surprised he missed that shot, to be honest. He had a good look for some reason. As now Terrence Mann on the other end is going to be pressured at the 3-point line. He doesn't like what he sees. He's going to back up. Now he gives it over to George. George with 10 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Trying to take his man isolation. Drives left side. Tough layup, but he gets it to go. Paul George fights through the contact. Able to finish to the rim. He has 16 points, but the Clippers now trail by 14 as we're coming up on 2 minutes left to play in this one. As Clarkson gives it inside. I think George had a good angle at that one. He wasn't able to intercept it, though. Swing it over to Sexton. Being guarded by Terrence Mann. 8 seconds left to go. Wide open Collins. He didn't pull the trigger. He gets it right back here with 3 seconds to go. He's got Batum on him. He gets on the pump fake, and he goes up with it and hits the 3. That is so unfortunate. You play good defense for 23.5 seconds, and it doesn't matter because the Jazz, well, they'll hit the 3-pointer. They now extend their lead to 17. We're underneath 2 minutes. Terrence Mann is going to try to drive inside. He gets fouled, but this one is over. The Jazz only win by 5. The Clippers make it look a little bit more respectable, but this was just a very frustrating game. The Jazz win 107-102. It just seemed like whatever we did in the fourth quarter, it just didn't matter. I don't know if that's some 2K cheese or what, but they were just scoring at will. I was playing some great defense, and it just didn't seem to matter. They were just scoring. Either some, players diving to the side. I don't know, but it just was an awful game. We have one more game this week, and it's against the Oklahoma City Thunder, and it couldn't get any worse by losing to the 4-win Jazz, could it? Well, it does. Paul George dislocates his left patella. He is done for the season. Paul George is done. No more PG-13. And we lose by 26 at home to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Just an awful week for the Clippers, but one of our star players is done. And I know this is something that if you're a Clippers fan, it happens all too often. Leonard and George just can't stay healthy. It's just been the Achilles heel of this team, and we got to do it again. We got to deal with life without Paul George. Giannis and Jokic are your players of the week. That's the third time Jokic has been named player of the week. Next episode, we'll return home to face the 9-12 Portland Trailblazers, who smoked us on opening night. They do still have Damian Lillard, despite the trade rumors of him going to Miami. He's still in Portland, but we're going to have to try to bounce back against the Trailblazers. We're underneath 500 again, and we got to do it without one of our two superstars. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode despite the bad news that surrounds it. If you did, make sure you drop a like and subscribe down below, especially if you want more 2K content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.